How many different pitches did you add this offseason?
I kind of, at the end of last year, I added the cutter. Kind of. I think I threw like 30 of them throughout the whole year. So, and it would cut sometimes it wouldn't cut. So really, I just dialed that in. I got it to actually cut now. So, I guess it's a new pitch, kind of, but it's just moving different. So I guess it's kind of new. But added that, made some tweaks to the big sweeper. Got a little more comfortable with the curveball. So just some minor stuff, but hopefully it'll help tidy some things up and help me be more comfortable with throwing the cutter, or throwing different pitches to certain guys.
When you go and you're not necessarily implementing a pitch, but when you add a pitch, you call Woody and Trent. You call Cal and ask permission. How does that work? 'Cause I'm sure he probably has his thoughts anytime you want to add a pitch as well.
No, yeah, I talked to Cal, but not. He kind of just asked what I'm working on. Pretty much every bullpen I would throw on with the TrackMan, and I would send that to Trent. He usually would answer like at 2 a.m., so I'm not sure what his off-season schedule was, but I wouldn't hear nothing all day, and then about 2 or 3 in the morning, I'd see Trent pop up on my phone. So, but yeah, I get a lot of feedback from the TrackMan, and it's super helpful in the off season when I'm messing with shapes and stuff. So I'd shoot it over to him and make sure it looks good.
It just seems like you've always tried to stay ahead, find new ways to attack hitters. Just where did that motivation come from? I mean, obviously when you came up, you had the big heater and everything, but like, does this go back even further to the days at Texas A&M, or even maybe even?
Not really. Really, once I got to pro ball, in college, I didn't really know anything about the analytics or shapes or anything. I just tried to throw it hard. But once I got to pro ball and I dove into the analytics and stuff, it kind of opened up. Like, I've always felt like I can see a shape and find a way to get to it. I just sometimes like I need Trent to tell me like this is an optimal shape that I need to be searching for, and I'll usually find a way to get to it relatively quick. So I don't really know how I always do that, but it's just something I've been able to kind of naturally do. And it's a lot of fun because I can look at, like, in game, I can watch guys throw, and if it's a guy that's killing us with a slider or something, then like I'll look at his numbers and be like, oh, I can do that. Like, it doesn't always work the same. There's a lot of other stuff that I've figured out goes behind the scenes, like the angles of the heater compared to the angles of the slider that kind of help with swing and miss and success with a certain pitch. But just chasing a certain shape, I've been able to do pretty naturally.
Bryce, like, is that the biggest thing? It's not a catcher verifying that it's a good pitch. You can look at the numbers, you can look at the spin, angle, the movement, compare it to others and say, okay, this is a real pitch, not just relying on a guy behind the plate saying, no, that's a good pitch or not.
Yeah, I think it's, you can look at certain guys throughout the league that have one really good pitch and try to chase that shape, assuming they throw similar to you. But yeah, it helps if Cal tells me it's good, but it's more of like, if I find a guy that throws like me and has a really good pitch, if I get to that shape and I throw it in game and I see success, then that's exciting. That's the validation I'm looking for. Just the in-game success and searching for a certain shape. But kind of like the cutter, I was throwing some this off season that like I don't even know if I could find a comp to, and so I'm like, all right, that's if that's moving more than what I'm able to find, then it should be pretty good. But then I'll throw one that doesn't move as much, and it's like, all right, that wasn't as good. But either way, the catcher would be like, yeah, it was good. That's a good pitch. It's gonna work. But you don't really truly know until you throw it in game and throw it to a big league hitter.
That's the one thing too, like the beauty now, especially now you have the TV screens up there, or whatever. you have instant feedback. Like if it felt good, the numbers are good, then you just try and replicate that feeling in front of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's also the, you can't only focus on shape. You got to locate. It's a two-part deal. But yeah, that's kind of in the off season. Like when I'm adding a pitch, when I'm working on something, like the first step is to find the shape and get comfortable with the shape, and then afterwards figure out how to locate it. Like that's like last year when I was adding the splitter. Like I got to the shape that I wanted pretty quickly, but then it was like, all right, how do I get that over the plate and where I'll get swings on it. That was something that I struggled with early last season or spring training, was whenever I had a lefty in the box throwing the splitter, like I had so much room arm side to where like it's a 0-2 splitter and I'd throw it outer half and it would end up, 3 or 4 balls off and they wouldn't swing. So once you get the action you're looking for, then I try to focus on location and kind of stop worrying about the action as much and try to locate it.
Bryce, I know you guys didn't get into the postseason like you wanted, but just how much confidence did you individually have as a pitcher the way you finished the season going on a high note?
Yeah, no, it was big for me. I think the second half of last season, like I just put everything together, and that's ending the season like that is big going into the off season, and just kind of gave me something to build on. And like I think the way the second half of the year went really well, and I still have a lot of things that I can get better at. So it's exciting, and I'm ready to go for this year. But yeah, hopefully it's 2 years in a row, 1 game short, so we don't have a good taste in our mouth. So hopefully we can come out firing early and not have to put together an incredible run the last month just to get in. It's something that I kind of want to. I've talked to Dan about it. Like every game matters. It's after 2 seasons in a row of being 162 games and being 1 game short. Like it's easy to say we should have won that game the last week of the year, but all those games matter, all the way back to the game number 1. So just trying to, it's a long season, but trying to, have importance and value in every game, so that we don't have to go out and, be 20-7 or whatever the last month to get in.
How crushing is that, though? I mean, like, the season is so long, and, like, you're grinding, and then to come up the game short. It's not like, where you're out of it by August. You're fighting, and then you put in all that time. It's got to be just infuriating almost.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy when you think about it. Like football, they have 17 games, basketball 80-something, and we play 162, not including spring training and whatever, but 162 that count, and it's 2 in a row where we get 1 game short, and it's like there's a lot of games just last year that we felt like we should have won, and you get into the clubhouse and you're like, we let that game slip away, whether it be for different reasons. So that's, like I said, that's something I talked to Dan about, just finding a way to be present, go day by day, but like every game matters. It's something that it's hard to, when you're you're on game 30 and you're like, we lost today, we got 132 more, like to kind of just brush it off and just move on. But like it's two years in a row we're 1 game short. So like and both years it felt like we have our hot streaks and we have our ruts, but we had to put together like an incredible run at the end to even put us in a position to finish where we did. And if we could just put together, it's easier said than done, but put together a full season of not being complacent, I guess, and not taking days off. Like I think that it'll we'll be in a better spot at the end of the year.
Those conversations with Dan, like, how much did it mean to you that he came down, you guys met each other halfway, like shortly after the winter meetings? I think you mentioned you guys went to dinner at a steakhouse or something.
Yeah.
What did that mean to you?
Yeah, it was cool. I drove up to Waco, and he came down, and we were able to get a bite to eat and kind of talk about how the season went and this upcoming season and stuff, and his plans for the team and everything. And it was good to see him. Glad I got to spend a night with him and talk baseball. It was a lot of fun.
Bryce, have you allowed yourself to look at, like you said, the picture you came out of Texas A&M as versus the pitch you are now? Like, it's not just the pitches, it's like the mentality. I mean, like, how far have you grown in that regard?
Yeah, it's. I was telling somebody not too long ago, like how I think how much of an impact like just this organization has made on me. Because I look at people that were taken in front of me in the draft and how their careers have gone, and like obviously somebody saw something more in them than was seen in me, for them to take them ahead in the draft. And I was at A&M, I was just throwing, like I didn't know how to pitch. And once I got here, like it didn't take long. I took off pretty quick, and I think that's a lot of credit goes to the Mariners with how they preach to us to dominate the zone, and how the action scores were able to give me confidence to be over the plate and to trust my stuff. And as soon as I got to my first season of pro ball, like I just bought into that, and they're telling me 3 of my pitches are better than the big league average pitch, and I'm like, why would I not throw it over the plate and get ahead? And so yeah, just the way that I pitch, not just obviously I have a lot more pitches now, but the way that I pitch is completely different than I did at A&M. I've gotten a lot better at getting ahead and trusting my stuff and attacking hitters than I was at A&M. It was a lot of like, trying to be on the edges and trying to make the perfect pitch and trying not to walk guys. Whereas now it's like, I'm just going to attack. I'm going to get ahead. I'm going to be over the middle of the plate early, and I'm going to get you to chase and finish counts. And it's fun to think about. It's a lot of stuff I wish I'd have known sooner. But I think if I would have known sooner, then I might not be with this organization, and things could have gone completely different. So it's been a fun ride so far, but we got a lot of work to do.
You went and talked to guys at Texas A&M, or when you see a college kid at your facility, do you tell them the stuff that you've learned already? Like, hey, don't just be a thrower, attack, whatever. Use these metrics, use all the stuff that you have. I mean, more kids are doing it, but do you try and provide that advice to people?
Yeah. I had this offseason, I did a speech at the Texas High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame banquet. It's a long name, but yeah, I did it's supposed to be a 20-minute talk, and I ended up talking for 30 minutes about kind of just dominating the zone and the importance of winning your 0-0s and winning your 1-1s. And a lot of the coaches that were there took that information back and used it for their guys. But I think there's just a lot of ways that like the Mariners were able to put things that really open your eyes to like how much of an advantage it puts you in to be ahead in the count and to continuously put yourself in good counts. Like there's no reason to not, like there's no reason to nibble early. Like you need to get ahead, throw it at the middle of the plate if you have to. Like, and that combined with the action score stuff and like how they were telling me to trust my stuff. Like I took off whenever I bought into it.
You're gonna be a pitching coach one day when your playing career is over. You're gonna be like, teach all this stuff, dude.
I don't know. We'll see.
Open your own facility or something instead. Like I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Depend how long I play and if I can buy a ranch or not. So.
Bryce, how much did you follow the off-season trade buzz, and how happy are you that the team was able to keep all 5 and 6 starters really intact coming into this spring.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to fully block it out. You see stuff here and there, and but yeah, I honestly I didn't know if all 5 or 6 of us would make it back here, and I'm super glad that we did. It's a really fun group, and obviously we were really good. We threw the ball really well last year, so I'm super happy we all made it back, and hopefully we make it through the year and make a run in the playoffs and push to stay another year next year. But I don't know. I think a lot of the stuff that I see online, like, I don't know if it's true or not, and if somebody's just trying to create a buzz that isn't there. So, like, every time I'd get on MLB Network or whatever, it'd say, "Oh, Mariners are trading Castillo." I'm like, how do they know if he even said yes or not? He's got a no trade thing. So, but yeah, it's stuff I try to stay out of. I mean, it's out of my control. So I just, whenever the season ended, told everybody bye, and hopefully we see them when we get back to Peoria, and it all worked out. So hopefully we put another good year together and we stay again.
It's like Logan Evans, Brandon Garcia, guys prospects. They're in their first big league camp. What advice would you give them if you talked to them about like how to do this? Because I remember it happened to you once. It's your first time, and a lot of guys go out there and try and throw 1,000 miles an hour or whatever. What would you tell them when you talk to them?
Yeah, I can kind of look at it like just the difference in like how I'm approaching this spring training compared to my first big league camp. Like the first time you're in camp, you feel like you need to be mid-season form. You might go out and get one inning, and like everything's riding on that one inning, but it's really not true. I mean, you got to just go out there and trust your stuff. The main thing is to get through camp healthy, and you don't want to push too early, just trying to make the team and end up putting yourself on the shelf. So I really enjoyed my first and second spring training, just because whenever I got to the big leagues, like it felt like I already knew everybody on the team, and that was the main benefit that I got from spring training. So like for them, I'd say just to mingle, talk to everybody, get to know everybody, and the big leagues is already hard enough, and you get there to a clubhouse and you feel like you don't know anybody or you don't belong, and it makes it even tougher. So just get acclimated with your future teammates and have fun. Go out and you're still warming up, you're still building up for the season. So don't think that you're at a showcase and you're trying to blow everything out. So that's what I'd say.
Do you get interested watching some of these younger guys that you guys may need to rely on, like they had Cranton yesterday, or some of these real young guys in camp you're watching when the Western fans get interested in that?
Yeah, I try to watch some of them. I haven't really figured out everybody's schedule yet so far, so if I'm in the kitchen eating and I see someone out there, I'll walk out there. But yeah, it's always fun watching guys throw, especially with the TV up. I can see the metrics and stuff, and I know like 2 years ago at this time was at the end of the gas camp or the shove camp, so I was feeling real good coming into camp. And I think a lot of them did the camp as well. So it's they're in good shape and throwing good, and hopefully they go out and throw well in camp and prove why they're here.
Did you read the MLB.com story, the big deep dive into T-Mobile and how it affects hitters and pitchers? Did you read that at all? I mean, you guys kind of know, but did you look at it?
I saw something showing like the stats of like the big time hitters that have come through and their home and road splits. I don't think I read the whole article.
Mm-hmm. Is there a different mentality when you're at T-Mobile? I mean, you like pitching at home. I mean, like it is pitcher friendly, but is there a real different mindset, or is it still attack? Do you feel more freedom to attack even more when you're at T-Mobile and it's 40 degrees?
I mean, I'm more comfortable throwing at home. It's a more familiar routine. wake up in my own bed and come to the field and everything's familiar. But I would say, like, if I'm comparing it to pitching in Cincinnati, like, obviously, like, I feel like I can throw fastballs up and, you know, get away with it more often. Like, there's certain parks where, like, it's in the back of your head, like, all right, we can't give up too many fly balls today. Some of them are going to get out. But I wouldn't say, for the most part, like, I pitch the same everywhere I go. No matter the lineup, I'm trying to attack to my strengths and get in good counts. I don't think there's any different mentality at home. It's just attack and get ahead, and we got some good guys behind us that'll run it down. So yeah, nothing's different for me at home. It's just overall it's more familiar and I'm more comfortable being there. But it is interesting. I would like to know, like, what exactly it is. If it's because the batter's eye's a little tilted, I don't know how that would be an issue if it's all black, because I feel like you wouldn't see the tilt if you're looking at the ball. But I'm not a hitter, so I don't know.
I think it might be the cold air more than the
yeah.
batter's eye.
But like they're saying, like, strikeouts are higher, so like it's got to be put in play for it to be the cold air, right? So I don't know, but I'm not complaining about it.